Sheldon Keefe told us pregame he's been really, really impressive. Was scheduled to get the start instead of Ilya Samsonov, and he does. Up we go. Lineups at the top of the screen are brought to you by Taco Bell.
David Kampf, Keefe has split those two up and put Austin Matthews, a new penalty killer for them.
And Sheldon Keefe told us we would see Matthew Nyes, 23 and white, who's out there as well as Ovechkin. Got another shot out of frame at Woll. Wilson at the half wall works it back to Alex Ovechkin. 20 seconds to go. Midpoint, Ovechkin again. Save, rebound. Backstrom trying to jam at it. Puck is still loose. Ovechkin crashing in, and they score! Backstrom pokes it home on the power play.
What I like about this is the second unit. You can see Alex Ovechkin stays out there. Watch how Ovechkin comes in. He is a big guy. He thinks he can bully his way in, but he takes a lot of attention. Liljegren, he's got Joseph Woll down, and then it's Backstrom, who had been moved down.
He then goes over top of the goaltender, ends up in the crease or in the back of the net, and he's no longer making contact with the goalie. The question here will be if they do challenge.
Can you just walk us through this process now, after the timeout from Sheldon Keefe, and now how it plays out in the human element?
For sure. So first thing they'll look at is how did Ovechkin get into the blue paint? Well, it's pretty obvious he got there on his own.
After coach's challenge for goaltender interference, it's determined that number 8 Washington interfered with the goalie doing his job. Therefore, we have no goal on the ice.
Stretch pass finds Carlson. He drops it back for Strome. Into the corner, met there and squeezed off the puck by Brody. Ovechkin jamming, Phillips shooting. Ovechkin on the reload, and they're trying to stuff it home, but Woll keeps it out. And Ovechkin trying to create. This game remains scoreless in the first of 3 here on ESPN. And back out to center.
Curtis is bailed out there by Tavares. He had the puck on his stick, on his forehand, should have gotten at the length of the ice.
There's Liljegren with some space. Feeds down for Riley. He shoots and scores! And the Leafs strike first.
Boards.
Yeah, he's got an apple in there. And they've got 23 seconds of power play time to begin this second period. Nylander with Tavares. Nylander pulls up, tried to shoot, couldn't get it to go, and a stretch pass ahead. Here's Ovechkin to the backhand, and a save by Woll, but a penalty coming. With Giordano bearing down, it creates this for Alex Ovechkin. Goalless so far. Ovechkin, backhand denial from Woll.
Right away, it should be something. Alex Ovechkin, you look at all the goals he scored in his years. One of the greatest goal scorers, really probably the greatest goal scorers of his era. Most of them are not on
multiple reallys. Impressive so far this year. Of course, stepped in the playoffs last year as well. And when you combine the regular season and the postseason, today just his 18th career game. Kuznetsov off the post. Nearly got that one to go on the reload, and the Caps with more chances. Now Gregor snaps one on. Turned out by Kemper as Evgeny Kuznetsov nearly tied this.
Hair off, and sometimes that's just the way it goes sometimes, the way that their bounces happen. So keep their Carberry's message, keep working on the process. Those bounces will come for us.
Bertuzzi in the corner. Riley trying to load one up, shadowed by Phillips. Worked wide, they get a tip, they score! Riley from the point, might have been tapped home by Tavares, and the Leafs lead 2-0.
Hard shot. It's a pass right here. He gets it in the lane. He makes sure it gets past, and then it's Tavares who really
off the feed from William Nylander in that one on Saturday. A 2-point day for him. 9 points in 5 games coming into tonight, and he's got a goal to make it 2-0 Toronto early on in the second here in DC. Bouncing puck. Woll had to adjust at the last moment. Sonny Milano was parked in front, and now here's Nylander. Driving, shooting, scores! Just like that! 3-0 Toronto.
Well, this game turned in a hurry, and again, it comes on a big chance at the other end of the ice. And you had 4 Maple Leafs converging on the puck, but where's William Nylander? He's at the far blue line there. Beautiful pass from Austin Matthews. And then we talked about William Nylander, about how good he has started this season. He scores a goal 48 seconds after his captain Tavares' goal. If I'm on a 2-on-1, I'm giving it to Alex Ovechkin. There's no whether he's got the record going for the record or not.
There's Nylander dragging through the circle, got it toward the net, and Kemper makes a stop on Bertuzzi.
Goes in virtually uncontested, but how about this? Watch Nylander, watch the silky mitts right here, as John Butchercross would say. Dishes it over, and you know what? You look at Bertuzzi there, it was almost like he was surprised to get it. He needs to shoot that right there, or dish it to Tavares back door. He has a chance, he pulls it, Kemper gets set. Not much for him to look at right there.
Midpoint shadowed by Mallenstein. Matthews to the goal line. Marner turns it behind the net, pulls it back, works it net front, and Kemper makes the stop on Nylander.
Need a whistle there, though. Kemper, he tried to freeze it, couldn't quite get the whistle. Instead, they do get a chance to change with an icing.
Seemed like it was probably some verbal frustration from Tom Wilson, perhaps on a missed call that puts him in the box. And the Leafs 40 seconds into this power play with Matthews shooting it wide. Tavares picks it up in the corner, races past Carlson, gets it back for Klingberg, right point, moved across for Matthews. Matthews for Marner. Marner at the goal line. Matthews, a one-timer, he scores! It's an onslaught for the Leafs.
And that's how they can play catch all over. They get to the perimeter, and then you've got Nylander in front. He's not always there. They move around. There's some flexibility, and they have to make sure they're looking at Tavares on the back door too. So it's a really dangerous power play. And look at Matthews. He backs up and then steps into it, and he gets all of it. Tips up and over Kemper's shoulder there for his 7th of the season after going 3 games without a goal.
Moved to the right point, Van Riemsdyk. Back for McMichael. High slot on the interchange. McMichael toward the net. Rebound for Phillips, and Woll's there again.
What makes Joseph Woll such a good goaltender is his anticipation. He's there. He's able to get the puck, but right now, Austin Matthews gets the 7th goal on his very young season. A beautiful setup by Mitch Marner, and then a puck up and over. That puts them up 4-0, but they're getting a ton of help at the other end of the ice. Joseph Woll has been solid. You can see that they also know the puck is trying to get over to Ovechkin, right? So they're erring on caution that side.
Wilson, Ovechkin, and a save. Woll again. Carlson, net front, Ovechkin scores. Capitals on the board, and Ovechkin's got his first of the season.
Nation getting Ovechkin on the board, and their power play getting a goal. You know, you look at the way that they move it. It's not a traditional setup. It's a great job right here. The puck comes over. All 4 Leafs killers are puck watching. They're going over there. They're watching it. And by the way, Ovechkin was over there, so they're worried about him. And then Ovechkin crosses over, gets to the spot that he doesn't usually stand. And it's a beautiful pass, easy tapping goal for post. And he makes good on it, gets his first goal of the season to cut the lead to 4-1.
These incredible goal scorers locking horns in this one, and it's Austin Matthews Leafs who are trying to get to 4-2 to start this season. It feels like big expectations for Nyes this year, what he's shown so far, and of course how he came onto the scene after his collegiate career at the end of last season. Van Riemsdyk toward the net, whipped it wide on the reload. Kuznetsov turned aside by a sprawling Woll.
Putting everything they have on Joseph Woll. We've talked a lot about his excellence in the crease here tonight, but this is probably one of his best saves right here. Comes across. You know, one thing that's impressed me, you were talking about how Sheldon Keefe says he's so athletic. His anticipation, to me, makes his job so much easier when he understands the game.
Sandin pivots, works it down to Van Riemsdyk. Seam pass broken up on its way through for Kuznetsov. Van Riemsdyk holds, shoots, and a save. Woll tried to locate it. Tavares gloved it.
3 shots against Tampa. It pulled at 13 minutes in, I believe, or about that. And I think that if you look at the way Joseph Woll was excellent coming in relief off the bench, which is difficult to do, and then also starting a game, he's been equally as strong.
Ferravari, a shot that Woll gets a piece of. It was a big-time second period for Toronto. The challenge in the first, a goal in the first, and then an onslaught in the second, and it all adds up to the 4th Toronto Maple Leafs win of this season. They take down the Capitals in D.C.